Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Justcarp Complains. The first episode of this series is actually a rant on YouTube's stupid policies. The link to that will be in the description box down below. And this series is basically a series where I just complain about stuff in today's society, so I can just, put myself out there a bit. Anyways, let's get on with the video. If you clicked on this video because you think that school is detrimental, I share your pain. You're not the only one who feels that way. Today I am going to be ranting against school systems in today's society, and why kids are failing all of their classes because of said systems. Let's just jump right into it.
You don't legally have to go to school.
If you didn't already know, I live with a form of high-functioning autism called Asperger's syndrome. No, it's not exactly what it sounds like. It's a type of autism that makes the brain go into a sort of hyper-focus on certain things. But on everything else that's going on in their lives, they lose track of stuff. Like, let's say there's a paper due for my English class. Now, if you're like me, you're probably busy thinking about the brand new Super Smash Bros. Game. I mean, seriously, no Waluigi and no Goku? What is this bullshit? Come on, Nintendo. You're better than this. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. You get so hyper-focused on something that's other than your schoolwork. Why? Because Nintendo Directs are generally interesting. Writing an essay on symbolism that you have to read 1,000 times to understand is not interesting, okay? It's really not interesting. Pile ADHD on top of that, and you have me. A person who spends 7 hours on a line in the sand essay. But we'll get into that later.
Alright, you know what? I'm going to write everybody up.
No, it was either Christian or George.
Well, everyone's going to get written up. In this whole class.
Most teachers like to scare you into submission by saying, oh, you're not going to be able to get a job if you don't focus on school enough. The only thing that teachers don't know how to do is to find a way to get their students to do the things that they want them to do. If you want your students to start actually doing your assignments, you can start by telling your students the good things that come out of studying, instead of hammering in all the bad things that come out with not doing stuff. That way, kids will actually have motivation to do their work. It's that simple.
Shut the hell up! Shut up! Shut up!
Now, I know what you're thinking. Carp Star, you hecking idiot. All the sections in this video are shorter than this one. Learn how to write scripts properly, you hecking heck. Yes, all the sections in this video are shorter than this one. I apologize for that, but there's something I want to show you. I don't like to give tests. That was the first thing that was on the syllabus for my 8th grade history class. I don't like to give tests. I prefer giving out essays and projects instead. At first glance, this is like, oh, no tests? This is great. However, you are wrong. Every year, the structure was the same for history class. But in 8th grade, all of the lines were blurred. All of a sudden, history was just another English class with tons of essays and opinions to give. It was very different from what I was used to. And it was, most of all, very hard for me. Volcanic eruption could accurately describe how I felt. That's why I didn't really upload much earlier this year. Because I was spending, in some cases, too much time on my homework. Until I had to take my 8th grade history class, I enjoyed history. It was all about memorizing facts and dates, and regurgitating said facts and dates on the test. And the material was easy. However, in my 8th grade history class, that all changed. Our class was forced to give opinions on things, and use the material that we learned to write multiple 5-paragraph essays. Keep in mind that this was not an English class, yet my teacher took the format from English and applied it to history, a class that required very little English material at all. The homework also took much longer to complete. I remember my grades being on the verge of failing, because history was the only thing I spent my time on. While I understand that my teacher didn't mean anything by it, and he was trying to make me a better writer, I couldn't take it anymore. I was worried that I would have to bury my brain next to my social life before the end of the year rolled around. Finally, one of the last essays that I ever wrote for that class was called A Line in the Sand. A line in the sand is something that you think cannot go on forever. Naturally, I picked homework as my topic. I was working on it, but as I usually did with most essays, I struggled with it. My mother realized this, and she helped me take all of the thoughts into my head and put it in MLA format. That essay would not be what it is today if she didn't help me. Finally, after 7 hours of commitment and persistence, I submitted the essay to Schoology and patiently waited for it to be graded. The following Monday, I walked into history class, and my teacher asked me if he could read my essay to the class. "I want your class to know how much you have struggled," he said. He then read it to the class. I watched everybody's shocked faces as everybody listened to 7 hours of dedication during a weekend. It was both excruciating and beautiful to watch. After he finished the essay, he paused for a moment. The entire class didn't even know what to say. Hell, I didn't even know what to say. Then, after a moment of thinking, my teacher said these exact words. When women get emotional and they start to cry, they get on group FaceTime calls and they, go to ice cream trucks. And they go shopping. However, men do it differently. They store up their anger and they pretend that everything is okay when in reality, everything is really not. One thing that men need to understand is that it is okay to cry. Ryan, you're a good kid, and I know that you're trying the best you can. And I know that school has always been hard for you. I know that school has always been hard for you because you're different from everybody else. That's why I'm making sure that next year I'm going to change the way I teach. Not just for kids like you, but for everybody. I'm proud of you, kid. Real proud. Later that day I was doing, you guessed it, homework, when someone from my history class texted me. "Hey Ryan, I just wanted to say that I thought your essay was so good." I smiled. I had a bit of history with this person, so seeing a text from her made my day. I texted her back. "Thank you, Rose. So are you." Okay, now I am going to show you the exact essay that I wrote. Homework. Oh, homework. I hate you. You stink. I wish I could wash you away in the sink. If only a bomb would explode you into bits. Homework. Oh, homework. You're giving me fits. I'd rather take baths with a man-eating shark, or wrestle a lion alone in the dark. Eat spinach and liver, pet 10 porcupines, then tackle the homework that my teacher assigns. Homework. Oh, homework. You're last on my list. I simply can't see why you even exist. If you just disappear, it would tickle me pink. Homework. Oh, homework. I hate you. You stink. Jack Berlutsky. This poem clearly states that homework is a problem and source of frustration and anxiety for many students. As the poem above states, kids would rather do anything dangerous and scary, or even life-threatening, than do homework. In fact, I'd rather pet 10 porcupines than write this essay, because it's stressful. In a study conducted by Stanford University and reported by Healthline, when it came to stress, more than 70% of students said that they were often or always stressed over homework, with 56% listing homework as a primary stressor. Less than 1% of the students said homework was not a stressor. Homework, in my opinion, should be forbidden, and children should spend more time doing things they enjoy. The Stanford study also explained that students were more likely to forego activities, stop seeing friends or family, and not participate in hobbies in order to make time for their homework. The stress and frustration over homework makes me furious. This is so unfair, because the amount of homework assigned, I feel stressed all the time because I cannot get it done. If teachers are going to make kids spend all of their time out of school doing homework, forgoing activities, and not seeing their friends and family, they are going to have to get through me first. In the studies I found in my research, they only talked about neurotypical kids. Since I have a form of high-functioning autism, I spend countless nights having my parents reteach the material that was taught to me in class. I stay up late and do countless amounts of math problems over and over and over again, all because I cannot understand what was presented in class. Now that I am almost done with 8th grade, I have written multiple 5-paragraph essays, studied for midterms, and did worksheets for various subjects in a compressed time frame. This makes me feel like the world is crashing down on me. It takes all my time. Most teachers think that just because we are older we can understand things better, or the work will take less time. However, since I have a disability, it is extremely difficult to finish my homework on time. I know many other people who go to school with me and struggle with their homework because of their learning disabilities. It's ridiculously unfair. A kid with a learning difference has to relearn the material that they have learned in class at home, because it makes absolutely no sense in the classroom. They have to read and understand the directions for their homework. They have to do research and organize and plan out their information. Then they have to get all the words and thoughts and conclusions out of their head onto paper in the way that the teacher wants it and so that it makes sense to a non-autistic person. This whole process is totally overwhelming and excruciating. It takes up all my time. It is very frustrating, and I am constantly worried that I will never get it done. In fact, I gave up all my time this weekend, and I had no fun, just because I had to do my homework. For neurotypical kids, the amount of homework can be overwhelming, but it takes me even longer. I have no fun, no social life, and homework is all I do. There have been many studies conducted that show how homework is bad for children. Many children are already weary when they get home from school. However, I'm completely exhausted. We have spent the day solving difficult math problems, reading several chapters of books, taking notes, and concentrating in school. We have been focusing for almost 7 hours, so bombarding kids with homework makes us feel burned out. This topic is discussed in an article titled, 5 Reasons Why Homework is Bad for Your Child. I completely agree with this. Either each class assigns too much homework, or each class, all added up for one night, is too much. An NYU student also noted that homework creates serious negative effects for high schoolers, such as chronic stress, emotional exhaustion, and/or alcohol and drug use. That was a mouthful. When homework is assigned, sometimes directions make sense to neurotypicals. But for children with a learning difference, directions are often unclear or confusing. Since I work on it outside of school, I cannot ask my teachers for clarification or help, so I can complete the assignment the way the teachers expect me to. Most times I have to ask for more time to figure out what I should do. Also, emails to teachers almost always get no reply until the next morning. At this time, it is too late. This creates a lot of stress and frustration and makes me feel bad because I want to do the work, do it correctly, and get a good grade. However, I cannot, because it's confusing and I do not have anyone to ask for help. The teachers claim that they are always available for help, but I cannot get help outside of school hours. This drives me to feel anxious and demotivated. I feel like I keep trying to do my best and putting all my time and energy into getting homework done. I need a break. After being in class and focused all day from 7:50 to 2:31, I am exhausted and overwhelmed with the amount of information I was given. In short, my brain needs a break. It is very hard for an autistic child to continue focus and efficiently complete even more work. The day is draining, and when tired, it takes me much longer to finish my work. I spend all of my time having no idea what is going on. I hide it well. I'm an actor who looks like a normal, well-adjusted guy on the outside, but inside I'm freaking out. I do not understand what is presented to me in class academically, in the halls, or in the classroom socially. It is exhausting to spend all of those hours feeling like a poser letting others down. I hate homework so much. It is so hard for me. I do it and I do my best so I do not let my teachers down. I need them to know that even though I hate what I'm required to do, I do it anyway. I'm not stupid or lazy, and I want to meet my teachers' expectations. I still do my best work as I respect my teachers and their right to assign homework. Right now, while I am writing this, I am exhausted. Right now, while I am writing this essay, I am exhausted. My brain is an overloaded circuit about to explode. I've been writing this essay for 7.5 hours, and I'm still not done. I'm using up all my free time after school and this weekend just to make sure that I do my best job and turn this in on time. I feel totally freaked out and have been panicking all week, and I am filled with tension. In other words, I am completely stressed out. For years, I gave up time with my family, working on my hobbies, and just having time to let my brain rest so I could do my homework. Since getting an education stresses out kids this much and burns us out before we become adults, this has to stop. Anybody who tries to argue that homework is not detrimental has to get through me first. With that being said, I leave you with this. I'd rather take baths with a man-eating shark, or wrestle a lion alone in the dark, eat spinach and liver, pet 10 porcupines, than tackle the homework my teacher assigns. I know I am not the first person to say that, and I am sure I will not be the last. But hey, at least I didn't have to take tests. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this special episode of Justcarp Complains. Again, the first episode is a rant on YouTube stupid policies. The link to that will be in the description. Please be sure to subscribe for more top quality Roblox content. And if you like this video, give it a like. Or don't. I don't care. The next video will be about Nintendo Switch Online, Article 13, and YouTube Rewind 2018. Take care, everybody. Bye!